This video is for training purposes only for Read, Apply, Perform curriculum. Folding linkage paper in preparation for a lesson for the next day. Your linkage paper can be a blank sheet of paper like this. Make sure it has no lines on it. Once you make one linkage paper, if you have 10 students in a group or if you have many groups and you're doing the same grapheme introduction, you can just make copies, and then that way you're not having to do one for each of the students. You can also use the back and the front. So if I wanted to, I'm about to introduce, this is going to be a lesson 3 introduction. Obviously you can use it for lesson 2, which is vowel I, but we're going to go ahead and do these, getting them prepared for lesson 3, which is introduction of the first consonants, which are graphemes T, D, and P. So your paper is going to go landscape, not portrait, so it is landscape, and then you're going to fold it in half. So now it is folded lengthwise in half, and then you will fold it again in half, and now it will be quarters. So now it is in quarters, and each of your quarters, so when you get it ready, each of your quarters is going to have a baseline arrow. So depending on your letter, and T and D are going to be at the baseline, but P is kind of midway. You'll see that the P goes under the baseline, so you would have to make your P midway. Okay, so we'll get there. So we're going to make our grapheme T and get that one ready. So you're going to put 4 arrows, and these will, just like that, and these will all indicate your baseline. And depending on your student, if your student is right-handed, it will go on this left square. If your student is left-handed, it will go on this right square. And that is simply so that they are able to see it. Their hand won't cover it up because of the way they are writing. So we're going to make a right-handed example for right-handed linkage paper. So our first letter is going to be T, and you're actually going to do the cursive model. Okay, so you're going to get it prepared for right after you have shown them the cursive overlay on the board. So this is their model. So now a right-handed student will be able to open it, and they will use this side as their model. So I've gotten my grapheme T ready for my student. If you look at your alpha strip, which is what you're going to ask your students to do anyway, you're going to see that D also will be at the baseline. So your arrow is going to be at the bottom again, indicating the baseline. So I will do my D, ready for my student. So there's my D, baseline arrow, and we're going to have our D towards the bottom. Now my P is going to be a little different. So let me just go over the instructions again with how to get your paper prepared. So you're going to have it landscape. You're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to fold it in half again. So now you have quarters. And I could have put one of my letters on the back. This time, if you looked at your alpha strip, so let's look at our alpha strip. You're going to see that our letter P, it sits on the baseline and the stroke goes underneath the baseline by 2 spaces. So our baseline really needs to be in the middle. It'll look like this. So our model is able to go lower down to the bottom, and so that's why the arrow goes in the middle. So you'll do that for every one of the quarters, the squares. You'll put it right in the midsection. All right, and that is how you do your linkage paper. You have it and prepared for your students for the next day. And when your students start to learn how to do that themselves and make their own model, you'll want to make sure that they understand which quarter square that they're going to put their model on, if they're right-handed or left-handed. You want to make sure they understand where the arrow is going to go by looking at the alpha strip and indicating if it's sitting on the baseline, it goes further down, then it's got to go right in the middle. If not, it's going to go with the bottom of the quarter. Okay, thank you.